Top 10 Weirdest Sports Rules That Actually Exist. Sports are meant to be competitive, exciting, and fair. But sometimes, the rules designed to keep things fair end up being so strange that fans scratch their heads in disbelief. From bizarre penalties to traditions that make no logical sense, the world of sports is full of rules that will leave you saying, "Wait, is that even real?" In today's video, we're diving into the top 10 weirdest sports rules that actually exist. Some of these rules are hilarious, others frustrating, and a few might even make you rethink your favorite sport. Let's get started. 1. The infield fly rule, baseball. Baseball is already known for its complexity, but nothing confuses fans quite like the infield fly rule. It says that if a batter hits a pop fly that could easily be caught by an infielder, the batter is automatically out, even if the fielder doesn't catch the ball. The rule was made to prevent fielders from intentionally dropping the ball to start a double play, but to casual fans, it looks like the umpire just randomly decided the batter was out. Even seasoned players sometimes argue over it, making it one of the strangest quirks in baseball. 2. Goalkeepers can't hold the ball too long. Soccer, football. In soccer, goalkeepers are the only players allowed to use their hands. But here's the twist. They can only hold the ball for 6 seconds before releasing it. If they go over, the opposing team gets an indirect free kick inside the box. While it sounds fair, it's rarely enforced strictly, and referees usually let keepers push the limit. But when it is called, it often leads to outrage because fans aren't used to seeing the rule applied. A small detail, but one that feels unnecessarily weird. 3. Blood rule, basketball. In the NBA and international basketball, there's something called the blood rule. If a player is bleeding, even from the tiniest cut, they must immediately leave the court until the bleeding is stopped and the wound is properly covered. It makes sense for hygiene, but it can lead to dramatic moments where star players are forced off during crucial plays, just because of a nosebleed. Imagine losing LeBron James or Stephen Curry in the final seconds, not due to fouls, but a scratch on the elbow. 4. The sin bin, rugby and ice hockey. In rugby and ice hockey, serious fouls don't just mean a free kick or penalty. Players are sent to the sin bin, a penalty box where they must sit out for a set period of time, leaving their team short-handed. It's basically a timeout for adults, but in the middle of one of the world's most physical sports. While it adds drama, it's one of the oddest punishments because it feels less like a professional consequence and more like playground discipline. 5. No spitting on the mat, wrestling. In amateur wrestling, athletes are forbidden from spitting on the mat during competition. Violating this rule leads to an automatic penalty. It might sound obvious, nobody wants to wrestle in spit, but the fact that this is an official written rule makes it amusing. Clearly, it had to be enforced often enough for sports authorities to put it in the books. 6. Cricket's mankading controversy. In cricket, bowlers can dismiss a batter by running them out at the non-striker's end if they leave the crease before the ball is delivered. This is called mankading. While perfectly legal, it's one of the most controversial rules in the sport. Many argue it goes against the spirit of the game, and whenever it happens, fans and experts debate endlessly. It's a rare case where a rule exists but using it makes you look like the bad guy. 7. No dunking in warm-ups, college basketball. In NCAA college basketball, players are forbidden from dunking during warm-ups before the game officially starts. If they do, their team gets a technical foul before the tip-off. Yes, you heard that right, athletes who can perform jaw-dropping dunks are penalized for showing them off too early. The rule was designed to avoid injuries and sportsmanship issues, but to fans, it feels like the NCAA just wants to ruin the fun. 8. Pine tar rule, baseball. Here's another weird baseball one. Batters can use pine tar on their bats for grip, but only up to 18 inches from the handle. If the tar goes higher, the bat is considered illegal. This rule caused one of the most infamous incidents in baseball history when George Brett hit a game-winning home run in 1983, only to have it taken away because too much pine tar was on his bat. His furious reaction became legendary, and the pine tar rule is still mocked decades later. 9. The fair catch kick, American football. In the NFL, there's an obscure rule called the fair catch kick. If a team calls for a fair catch on a punt, they have the option to attempt a free kick from the spot of the catch, and if it goes through the uprights, it counts as 3 points. It's so rare that most fans don't even know it exists. In fact, it's been attempted only a handful of times in NFL history. It feels more like a loophole than an actual rule, but technically, it could win a team a game. 10. Shin guards must be worn, soccer, football. Every soccer player knows they need to wear shin guards, but what makes it funny is how poorly enforced the rule is. Players often wear tiny guards the size of a credit card, hidden inside their socks, just to meet the requirement. Technically, referees can stop a player from entering the pitch without shin guards, but in reality, it's become a weird formality that nobody takes seriously. Yet, on paper, it remains a mandatory rule of the game. Sports are full of traditions and regulations, but sometimes, the rules themselves are just plain strange. From goalkeepers racing the 6-second clock to basketball players being punished for dunking in warm-ups, these weird rules remind us that sports are as quirky as they are competitive. And who knows, maybe one of these odd rules will decide the outcome of a major game in the future. So, which of these weird rules surprised you the most? Was it cricket's controversial mankading, the NFL's secret fair catch kick, or the NBA's strict blood rule? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss more fascinating sports stories. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.